Yeah, we're really excited to be fourth, tied for fourth in the ACC. I know the top three teams are all ranked in the top 12 of the country, so our league is very good, especially at the top. And to be tied for fourth, we've won a lot of games, a lot of road games, 7-3 on the road. So give our guys a lot of credit for. I know we lost a couple late, especially with Boopie's injury. It was not an ideal time to have leading scorer and assist guy and your point guard go down for 5 games, but our other guys handled it pretty well, and so now he's back. We expect to win to Charlotte and play well, play very hard, and we're 22-9 overall, and I think it's been a good season so far, but I don't think anybody's satisfied. We want to try to go win some games in Charlotte.
As you look at the big picture situation and you're standing on the bubble, do you feel like you need to go win it all in Charlotte to get in, or what do you feel like you need to accomplish this week to have your resume be where you want it to be?
Well, I think for an at-large bid, we probably have to win a few games. I'm not sure how many. I don't think we have to win it, but we have to win a few games. So we're just focused game by game. We know whoever we play, Syracuse or Florida State, we just played them, so the scouting reports don't even have to be dusted off. We just played both this week, so everybody's familiar with each other throughout the league. It's going to be whoever executes the best, plays hard, and defends, and hopefully makes some shots. But we're really not concerned about the NCAA tournament bubble right now. We have to take care of our end and try to win some games.
What can you take away from both that Syracuse and Florida State game? Maybe not your best games in either that you can kind of carry forward going into this week?
Well, Syracuse played very well against us. They made some shots, and they're very talented offensively. So I think that was a great win for us. We were just battling the whole game, and then finally were able to tie the game up and take the lead at the very end. What an exciting last regular season home game for our fans and for our players. Keon tipping it in as a senior, that was great. Florida State's different. We played them on the road, and Coach Hamilton's last home game at Florida State, so it was very emotional. A lot of fan support they had, and they played very well. So I think Florida State or Syracuse they're playing well at the right time. I think our team, we have been playing extremely well. And then since Boopie's been hurt, we've been kind of up and down, and I think we need to get it back to the level we were playing at to have a chance to win a few games.
What have been your thoughts on Boopie since he came back? Obviously, kind of shaking off some of the rust since missing that time in a kind of a key point in the season.
He's played very well. He was playing before he got hurt. After the Pitt game, we won 5 in a row. We were 19-5, and he was playing the best basketball of his career. He was playing great offensively. He had 10 assists, 9 assists. He was sharing the ball, making plays for his teammates, being a true point guard, and then he was playing great defense. He was very disruptive, playing fast with and without the ball at his size. And so since he's come back, he's played well. I thought Syracuse in the second half, he really helped lead us to that win and got the ball to the right people at the right time. And then he was 7 for 11 from the field at 16 points and 5 assists against Florida State. So he was the one guy that shot over 50%, especially in our starting lineup. And so give him credit. It's hard to sit out 5 games and come back and play as well as he is right now, but we need him and everybody else to do well on Wednesday night.
Not to say that there wasn't a sense of urgency in those last couple regular season games, but with an older group, a group that walked on senior night, this is now the win or you're done kind of scenario. Is that sense of urgency ramped up for this group?
Yeah, I think everybody has stories from the past. These guys have never been in the ACC tournament other than Matt Cross, and I think right now it's win or go home, right? And then hopefully we'll have a postseason tournament, whatever that is. It'd be nice to be the NCAA tournament, but I think this is the exciting time of year. All these guys came to SMU to do what they've done, to put themselves in position to be a top 4 or the 6th seed, but tied for 4th in the league. And so I think everybody in the locker room understands we had a very successful regular season. Could have been better, but now everybody has a clean slate, and it's win or go home. And it's an exciting time of the year for all student athletes, especially in these big tournaments. I think, as a head coach, our team was a 6th seed at Florida Gulf Coast our first year, and we beat the 3 and the 2, and then lost in the championship. And then the second year, we were 2 seed and won the whole thing. And at USC, we've been seeded all over the place. And once you get to a conference tournament, throw the records out. It's whatever team plays the best together usually wins the game.
Can you kind of dig a little more into what the characteristics characteristics are of this team that make you believe that you can make this a kind of run in the ACC tournament?
Well, we still lead the league in scoring, or maybe we're second in conference play, so we can't score the ball, especially with Boopy back. And we have to get out and run and make some shots. And our scoring usually is a result of making the other team miss or stealing the ball. We lead the league in steals. So we have to have deflections. We have to have steals. We have to play off missed shots. We're not as good when the other team makes a shot. We can't play as fast. We just not as. Our points per possession are much lower on made shots when they are on misses or turnovers.
6 guys in double figures for you scoring perspective. You mentioned how well you guys can score as a team. What do you think makes your team difficult to guard, difficult to deal with from an offensive perspective?
Well, as long as our big guys are scoring the ball in the paint, we are a very good paint team. I think we lead the league in points in the paint. We're also a very good shooting team when we take open shots with our feet set. And that makes it very hard to guard. If you can have paint touches, rim shots, meaning around the rim, and then you have good three-point shooting. So we didn't shoot the ball well. Some of the games we lost from the three-point line. The other night we didn't put enough pressure on the rim and didn't give our guards enough space to get open looks. So I think we have to do both if we want to win some games in Charlotte.
In your experience, is there any common denominator with teams that kind of turn that page to the conference tournament and get hot?
I think there's so many great examples over the years. It's hard to tell. You just never know as a coach or coaching staff, and you just hope that team shows up and they play together with some excitement, some passion, and I think some of the teams that play early sometimes have an advantage because they get a little confidence. They're used to the arena, so I know the buys are helpful, the double buy, but sometimes you saw in the football playoffs the teams that played the first week, they all won the quarterfinal matchup, so they were 4-0, and so the teams that were sitting there waiting didn't do as well. So I think there's no secret formula, and it's very hard to predict, but that's what makes March Madness and these conference tournaments so exciting.
I've seen a few coaching changes just nationally, and also some coaches already see those positions filled, and guys like Coach Lucas and Kiwanis down in Houston have to take these jobs and start preparing for the portal. I know that's a very different story here, but can you kind of comment on
You said Houston? What?
Houston's assistant, Kiwanis, took the Louisiana job.
Oh,
this
that's right.
morning.
Okay.
And just that overall kind of portal look-ahead mindset that the schools are having to deal with this time of year.
Well, I was very surprised that Coach Keats was let go from NC State. He went to the Final Four last year. That's pretty hard to do. And he's a really good coach, really good guy. So feel for him. That's hard when you go to the Final Four and the next year you're out. That's very challenging. As far as the other jobs, I know we've had Coach Hamilton's retiring and Coach Larrañaga at Miami. Those guys are Hall of Fame type coaches. And the league will be different next year with Tony Bennett, another Hall of Fame guy, leaving Virginia. So the league will be different with some new coaches next year. I just got here this year, so I think there's been a lot of turnover probably in the last 3, 4, 5 years of most of the ACC schools.
You talk about the physical challenges and how you guys prepare for being ready for, every time you win, it just means another game, right afterwards, and how the team's ready to kind of deal with that.
Well, that's why it's so important to play together because you're scouting. You only have less than 24 hours to scout the game for the next day, and you have to sleep about 8 or 9 of those hours. So I think it's a very quick turnaround, and that's why you have to be connected on the offensive and defensive end, and guys who want to play for each other, play hard.
You talked about opportunities, and I know you don't want to look ahead, but you've got possible rematches with Clemson and Louisville there. Clemson playing without Boopy played them really close here. Louisville felt like that was a disappointing game for you guys that they really responded well from. What does it mean to, in a tournament setting, have maybe those opportunities coming for this group to maybe get a second chance at those?
Well, I think it's great to play teams that beat you the first time. And if Florida State wins, we'll have a chance to do that as well. But Louisville and Clemson have had amazing seasons. Congratulations to them. Both outstanding basketball teams and tough to beat. But we're good too. Our players are very good, and we have a good team. So we would love to have that opportunity to do that. But first, we have to get by 2 good teams on Wednesday night.
It's been good. I've been getting comfortable with myself and, playing with my teammates as well. Tough loss we got last one, but I feel like it's a new season now, starting 0-0, so I'm ready to win it all.
Coach said that before your injury, he thought you were playing the best basketball of your career. Do you agree with them? And, what's kind of gone into try to make sure that you can replicate that, get back to where he said you were?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like I can always be better at certain aspects, but just listening to that and hearing that from Coach definitely gives me a lot of confidence.
What do you guys think that you can take away from the fact that you played Syracuse and Florida State so recently? What about those games would you want to improve upon if you played either of them on Wednesday?
Watching film, it can definitely help us, learn about what we did wrong and what we did right. So going into that second game and playing on one of those teams is going to be a good option for us.
For both of you, you guys are pretty squarely on that bubble. What do you feel like you need to do this week to find yourself in the field come Sunday night?
I think kind of like what he said, we just got to look at it as like there is no seeding, there's no wins, losses before when you played previous teams. As the saying goes, it's March Madness. Crazy stuff happens in March, so everybody's kind of on the same page. Anything can happen, and just take the good and the bad from the last time we played both teams, either one that we end up playing, and just learning from that, and kind of just take the game plan that the coaches give us. But most importantly, some of us that are seniors and some of the guys that first time in college, and just everybody overall. I mean, just leave it all on the floor. It's do or die now. So.
How about you?
I want to win for those type of guys like the seniors. The guys like Tibet. Who else? Chuck. Those type of guys. Cario. I just want to win for those guys. So their last year of college, I want them to go out with a bang.
It's been a pretty strong first year in the ACC for SMU athletics as a whole. Obviously, what football did, volleyball as well. What would it mean for you guys to add to? I mean, not that you haven't already with a strong season to this point, but if you could add to that with an NCAA tournament, what do you think that would mean to the university, to the athletic department as a whole?
It would mean a lot. I feel like a lot of people doubted us. If we go win this all, and when we go win this all, it'll just be a plus for us, and I think it'll be great for the team.
What makes you guys confident in the group that you guys have to make a run this coming week?
I would say that we're confident just because we're pretty sure any team we play, if we play the way we're supposed to play and we play hard, that we can compete and beat anybody in this league and in the country. So I think just knowing that, it's kind of a reset. We don't have all the worries of win this, lose this, standings and all that. Now it's just like fresh mind. Everybody's on the same page. It's just win. That's all that matters. And I think that's good for everybody's mental, just worried about winning games now.
From both of your previous experiences at conference tournaments, I mean, what is kind of important for some of those younger players to know, the players who maybe haven't had these experiences before, about what it takes to win, what it takes to move forward, and especially when it's game after game after game if you keep winning.
I would say just playing the right way at all times and just playing hard and giving it your all. I feel like everything else is going to take care of itself if you just go through the game plan and just lock in and come out with a win.
What does it mean? You guys might get some second chances depending on how that first round game goes, and then obviously with Clemson and possibly Louisville. How do you look at those games as kind of second chances, second opportunities as they come?
We're taking it one game at a time, but it's an amazing opportunity. I think it's hard to beat a team multiple times. We didn't have Boopy against Clemson, and Florida State, they got us at the end, but neutral site, and I think just from there, I think we can really, like I said, beat anybody once we really just get everybody together. We're fully healthy again. Everybody's here. Everybody's fresh mind. Coaches, fresh start. Like everybody. And I think that it's awesome to have a chance to play teams that possibly 3 teams in a row that have already beat us. So.
How big is that fresh start? Maybe don't feel like you guys played your best at the end of the season. Obviously, Boopy being gone and coming back, but to kind of flip that page and, like you said, start again and have this opportunity ahead of you.
Yeah, no, it's really important. Boopy's as the terms we call it in scouting, Boopy's the head of the snake of the team. Without him, we're all good players, but without him, offense can be stagnant. He moves the ball. He's our facilitator. He's our guy. So with Boopy out there, I'm confident in anyone we go against. I mean, like I said, we didn't one game at a time. We got to get Florida State. I think we will get them, and then even down the line, we didn't have them against Clemson, and it was a pretty close game. I think with him, it's a different game. Whoever we play in the future, I'm pretty comfortable now that he's got 2 games under him too. He's feeling good again. He's got his win back, because a lot of people don't understand. It feels like only a few days, but when you're used to going that few days, when you get back, it feels like you haven't played in a month. So I'm just happy he's got 2 games in him. He's got his win back, and he's our guy. So.
Appreciate that, Matt. Appreciate that.
And just for Boopy, for you, when it got tough, missing those games that I know you wanted to be in, were you kind of saying, but this is when I need to be healthy for? How much did looking forward to this maybe help you through missing some of that time?
Guys like Matt and the coaches were just telling me to take my time with it, just come back when I'm comfortable. Shout out to Miles, the athletic trainer, man. He helps me a lot. Just putting me in a cold tub, putting me through all the stretches and everything. He helped me come back quick as possible, so I thank him for that.
You guys have 10 wins away from Moody Coliseum this season. What kind of goes into being ready for any environment you guys are up against?
Those road games and neutral sites, those are tough games to win. I feel like just locking in on scout, I feel like that'll help us in the long run. And going into this week, I think that's going to help us as well.